All right, what's up, college baseball fans? Welcome to another episode of the 11.7 podcast, weekend number 12 recap episode brought to you by Home Field Apparel. Use promo code CWS26 for 15% off. They have some really, really cool items out, especially like college baseball centric. They just sent me personally a gift bag that I'm gonna show off here in just a second for all of our YouTube watchers. But check them out. I mean, they're big supporters of not only us, 11.7, but a lot of people around the college baseball industry. They have specific college baseball stuff, so it's not your generic university and college apparel. It is college baseball centric. They're great to work with, and they're giving away a grand prize for our weekend series pick'em contest, season long, and our survivor winner as well. So check out their website. It's homefieldapparel.com and find something to buy for your team to wear during regionals or super regionals. Let me show off the unboxing that they sent me. I got it today. Actually, I got it yesterday, but they have the college baseball, can't call them uniforms, but pullover jerseys. We got the Vanderbilt one. This one might be going to you, Noah, when we get to Omaha. Georgia Tech jackets, still in the wrapping. Oregon State Beavers 06-07 edition, and the new UCLA throwbacks there. I might give you that one as well, Noah, just because you went and saw them in person this week at Michigan State. We will get to that. I will let you have the floor towards the middle of the show when Jack hops on. As you notice, Dimitri is not here. Dimitri is sick. And I know he was sick because he was very unresponsive today and yesterday via text message. I know he was napping. He got that California flu. He hates that he's missing the show, but I think he's losing his voice and stuff like that. So we told him to sit this one out. Jack will be joining the show live from Austin, Texas. He was just at the Mississippi State Texas series, so we will let him talk about that when the time comes. And other than that, the plan of the show today, we are going to show off a couple new features on our website. That's really cool, something you can use. Everything is 100% free. So whenever you're bored at work, or if you're just sitting around at I don't know, on the couch and you want to play around with it, feel free to do so. After that, Jack should be on. So Noah's going to talk about his weekend at Michigan State, watching the Spartans get swept by UCLA, but the games were pretty close. A lot of comeback wins for the Bruins. And then Jack will talk about Mississippi State, Texas. When we finish that up, myself and Jack's probably going to have to hop off because his girlfriend is in the same hotel room as him, and she wants to go to bed. So we had to make those negotiations happen. But then after that, me and Noah are going to do Player of the Year races for the Power Four conferences. So ACC, Big 12, Big 10, and the SEC. That'll be fun as well. And then we'll fill in the gaps with Golden Spikes talk potentially, and big storylines from around the year. So ready, set, let's go. Let's play ball.
Let's do it.
All right, no,
you're the conductor here, because my least favorite, and I've told Ben this like a million times, my least favorite thing about being at the park in person is you're missing the 50 other games that I would be watching, and if I was in command center. So Ben is gonna steer the show, and
and you know what? Does, I got the keys to the social media a little bit this weekend too, at least the Twitter. Dimitri had to tap out early on Friday, and then didn't really start until Saturday evening. He was down bad, so I feel good. I watched a ton of games. It's probably that this weekend was probably the most games I watched in a weekend. I had the quad box going on my computer. I had one game on the TV. It was a great weekend. Didn't have to do much. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. I'm going to show off our
here we go.
Our website. So 11.7.com. Tons of cool features and everything in here. But if you go to the college baseball drop down and then you go to conferences, we have a new feature here where you click the conference. It tells you projected regional teams, projected hosts, has the conference standings, Q1 wins, RPI, all that fun stuff. There's a statistics tab where you can look at team statistics, how they rank in conference play. There's advanced metrics too as well. But the new features right here under tournament bracket, we're getting 2.5 weeks away from let's see, 2 weeks away from conference tournament starting on Tuesday, ACC.
Yes, sir.
And so this bracket is the
technically we were talking about this pre-show too. You get the Southland Patriot and Ivy League tournaments starting next week.
Yeah, not this coming up week, but the weekend after that, because they're 2 weekend conference tournaments.
You're right.
Yeah, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I forget the dates. I don't know.
I'm already moved on to this week, which is technically this Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's the next Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep. But anyway, so this tournament bracket is accurate, and it actually updates in real time. So when I tweeted about it Saturday morning, it had something completely different than what it has today, Sunday night. And when you hover over the games, it actually gives you like a head-to-head matchup. So when conference tournaments, so 2 Sundays from now, it'll have the exact bracket, and then you can say, like, if you're a Virginia Tech fan, you can see what you did versus Cal. Head-to-head, overall record, conference record, Q1 record, RPI, strength of schedule, and then like all the stats below it: batting average, runs a game, OPS, ERA, blah blah blah. So all you have to do is just hover over it, or if you're on your phone, you click the game and it'll pop up. ACC tournament, it looks like a lot of fun, dude, to be honest. I mean,
dude, I want to go. So
4 games a day for 3 days. And then now my only question, I'll have to look into the rules, but there are 3 pods and then there's a semifinal. So we got to figure out how that
no, there's no pool play.
No, I know, but look, so 1, 8, 16, and 9 are in a pod. 4, 5, 12, and 13 are in a pod. Right? Never mind.
I think you're just big braining this. Yeah.
I'm big braining. All right. Scratch all that. The ACC tournament has always just buried me. Ever since I was in high school, I still didn't understand the rules. Okay. So the winner of Virginia Tech Cal plays Virginia. The winner of Virginia and the winner of that game plays Georgia Tech. And then the winner of that game goes to the semifinals. That's easy enough. So to be a top 4 seed is very valuable. You really want to be a top 4 seed because you're 1 win away from a semifinal. But then if you want to switch conferences, you just come up here, switch it from the ACC to the WAC tournament bracket. It'll load up. Right now you have Tarleton as the 1, Cal Baptist is the 2, so forth. So Dimitri,
one of my favorite features on this, I don't know if Ben touched on it. I know he mentioned like the hypothetical matchups, but if you hover over the matchup, so like Hawaii Fullerton, if they played earlier in the year, it has like their head-to-head record at the top. Yeah. So Hawaii,
that was your call. You told Dimitri to put that in.
Yeah, it's something that I always look at during conference tournament time, and Dimitri is like, hell yeah, I like that idea a lot. So, but yeah, everybody always says it's hard to beat a team 4 times. Well, you got that right there. If you go to the 11.7 tournament bracket page, just hover over the matchup and you can see the records of the 2 teams against each other.
Yep. So you guys check this out. It's going to be fun to play around with from now until the Tuesday of conference tournament time. Something else I want to show just one more time. Maybe we have new listeners or people that forgot about this, but we do have a field of 64 projector. That is an algorithm built by Dimitri. It has to do with how the committee picked previous tournaments, like all mushed into one. So it's not perfect, but it does go off of like tendencies that the committee has done in the past, on top of projecting like how teams will finish out the year. So it also has Warren Nolan's projected RPI, projected standings, like how teams are going to win their last games or lose their last game. So all you have to do for the field of 64 projector, you click load teams. When you see loaded 308 teams, you go generate field of 64. and then you scroll down, last 4 in, first 4 out, next 4 out. Hate to see Mercer in that first 4 out category.
Ouch.
Absolutely hate to see it. But yeah, I mean, like this is up to date as of Sunday night. All games completed, and I guess we can kind of roll over this real quick. Bubble watch. Last 4 in: Arizona State, East Carolina, Michigan, Pitt. First 4 out: UAB, who just got swept by Rice. They are now in the first 4 out. TCU just got swept by Oklahoma State. Louisiana, big weekend sweep this weekend against Georgia State, and then Mercer won 2 out of 3 against Samford. Next 4 out: High Point drops out after losing a series this weekend to.
It's interesting that they're even in the at-large picture. That's a good thing for them.
Yeah, I mean, their RPI is fine. Like, it was actually in the low 40s coming into this weekend. I think it's in like mid 50s now or low 50s. They lost a weekend series to somebody, Longwood, I want to say, actually. Lost a weekend series to Longwood, so that's a big hit for High Point. Miami, Ohio is in that next 4 out, Purdue, and then South Alabama. South Alabama just destroyed Texas State, swept them this weekend. So they're now in the picture.
Shout out Coach Calvi and the boys. Yeah, Pitt's up against the wall for sure. They're 10-14 in the ACC. We saw 16-11 Virginia get left out with like a low 60s RPI last year. Pitt finishes with 3 games at North Carolina, and then they host Notre Dame. I can tell you they probably need to win both series, and going to Chapel Hill and winning a series is going to be dang tough. And if they lose that series and then maybe win against Notre Dame, but Jack Riddell is no easy feat whatsoever, their RPI is probably going to land in the same range as Virginia last year, and I just don't see them being able to get in. So, I would say that right now is, cooked in for a high 40s, but I don't think that's going to be there come D-Day.
Right. Well, now this also only projects out through the regular season. Some of these teams like Pitt, I mean, they might have an opportunity for 2 more quad 1 games if they win one of the games in the ACC tournament, and then lose. They go 1-1. That might still bump up their RPI into that bubble or past the bubble at large, whatever. But yeah, so like the projector only goes through regular season. Conference tournament wise, like anything can happen. We've seen teams jump 12 to 15 spots, just going 3-1 in the conference tournament, coming in second place. Anything can happen. But what do you think about these regional hosts here? I'll run through them real quick. UCLA 1C, Georgia Tech, Texas, North Carolina, Auburn, Kansas, A&M is a 7, and then Mississippi State is an 8. Alabama 9, Florida, Georgia, Florida State, Coastal Carolina, Ole Miss 14, Oregon State 15, Hattiesburg Regional 16. Anything that jumps off the paper to you here in this projection?
I think 1 through 4 is pretty dang good. If anything, maybe North Carolina and Texas, there's a discussion that could be had there at the end of the year, but we don't need to get into it right now. I love Auburn at 5. I think that was a super impressive series win at A&M. And now all of my A&M stuff doesn't seem like I was too harsh losing a home series. By the way, they definitely deserve to lose a home series when your athletic department schedules a bananas game.
Yeah, that's on
the
them.
weekend.
That's 100% on A&M.
Yeah. Kansas love that they're top 8, and they've earned it at this point. Like, good for the Jayhawks, man. They're undefeated at Hoagland.
27 of their last 30 games.
Yeah. They should dictate whether or not they get to Omaha by playing all their remaining games at home. And that they're undefeated in doing that. I think the big elephant in the room we need to talk about is Oregon State, because no doubt the committee will. If you're a fan of any college sport, and they all have basically, I think the only one without a committee is the NCAA hockey, which just goes off of a database, which is basically a BCS from college football years ago. They call it NPI, but Oregon State, people are going to bring up the Dax Whitney injury, which absolutely sucks, but I think that kid's one of my favorite players and just people in college baseball. I absolutely loved that he went and talked to the media after that Friday night game and was just totally open and honest about the entire situation. And that's a guy that I will root for the rest of his playing career, whether or not he throws another baseball in a Beavers uniform. That's just such tough news that we saw on Friday. But for Oregon State as a team, I mean, this is a team that's 36-11. They're going to have 40 wins come, Memorial Day when we're selecting the entire NCAA tournament. But this year, their scheduling did not pan out the way it did last year. They've only played 4 quad 1 games. They're 2-2 in those. And unfortunately, I mean, the way it's gone this year, it just hasn't aged as well. So I wonder if they're ultimately going to get left out of the hosting picture, Ben.
Yeah, look, I want to preface this by saying, like, Dax Whitney doesn't have to throw another college pitch, and he's going to be a top 10 pick next year in next year's draft. He's that good. He showed it for that long. I mean, he pitched his whole freshman year with a bullseye on his back, and he delivered every single start. He was fantastic again this year. But that is a conversation that, I mean, we don't need to be ignorant to this. Like, it's going to be a conversation in the selection committee room, especially when Oregon State has nobody there to represent them because they're not in a conference.
Do they have the Portland AD? I'm going to look that up.
They do. The Portland AD is on there. I don't think that matters a whole lot because the Portland AD is not really there to defend Oregon State. But I mean, we saw it with the Devin Travis situation in football. Florida State loses the quarterback. They don't make the 14 playoff. A lot of hoopla there. And I can absolutely see some of these ADs getting together that are on the committee and being like, hey, like, they had a great season. Do we want to reward them with a home regional when their number one best player overall is not going to be there to throw Friday night for them? I don't know. I do think that conversation happens. I do still think Oregon State deserved. Like, I'm a paper guy. Like, what do you do on paper matters to me. Like, what you do with your schedule and how you play throughout the whole year, 56 plus game schedule. I think that matters. And I hope Oregon State, if they finish strong, gets an opportunity to host a regional, because I think that regional atmosphere is top of the charts. And it's always incredible to watch like at 11 p.m. Eastern time start, Oregon State versus whoever the 4 seed is there. Like, I love those games to watch. I don't know. I definitely think this is a challenge for the Beavers to really put on a show the rest of the year. And they did lose Friday night to Cal State Northridge. That Dax Whitney, that would have been his start. They lost that game, so that's not a great taste in the mouth. But I don't know. We'll see. That is an elephant in the room here on the projections, though. Like, do they get rewarded? I
was gonna bring it up in a different conversation, but you mentioned like the fact that they lost that Friday night game. This is why what Coastal Carolina has done this year is so impressive to me, is because you see another power college baseball program. They lose their Friday night ace, immediately loss on Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ethan Kleinschmidt went out there and shoved, but it's everybody else that has to step up one spot. And Northridge just took advantage of the bullpen down the stretch of that game. And yeah, I mean, won the Friday night game. So I just, when Coastal's done what they've done for the first, 9-10 weeks without Fluky, it was just that much more impressive to me.
Yeah. And it's also, speaking about Fluky and Coastal Carolina, I think they're 0-2 in the starts that he's come back and pitched in since he came back. I know they lost today, and I think they lost last Sunday too. Not saying it's Cam Fluky's fault. It's just kind of ironic that they get him back, and they actually end up losing those games when they've been winning pretty much every Sun Belt game before that. That's beside the point. I still think Coastal Carolina is unbelievable and really good. They had a good weekend down in Statesboro. Big comeback win Friday, and then blew them out game 1 today. And then they lost that Fluky start game 2. But other things I want to talk about here on this field of 64 projection, I believe that's 8. Is that 8 SEC teams hosting? Ole Miss, A&M, Mississippi State, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Auburn. No, 7. Oh, Texas, 8. 8 SEC hosts. I hate that. I really hate that.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but we did see it last year. They got 8 hosts and only 4 teams advanced total of their 13 bids. However, I am willing to, accept the fact that they did dominate the non-conference portion of the season. February and March, they were almost flawless. I think they won 83% of the games.
Yeah. I just like for me, I get it. The SEC, has won the last 7 national championships, best all-around college baseball conference. But I need to see more diversity in this sport, dude. Like you're finishing in 8th place in your conference and you're getting to host a regional. Like, that just doesn't feel like the spirit of college athletics. And
Yeah,
obviously those stadiums are big and they get filled up and they make a bunch of money. But like, dude, a place like West Virginia or Nebraska, somewhere like I don't know. I'm trying to think of another potential host site. Oklahoma State. I know they're not going to host, but like that's another really cool ballpark that I think would fill out. It's just tough, dude. I mean,
I want you to know that you are now officially, for those that listen to last week's pod and our Pro 32 hosts, you have officially talked yourself into a circle.
No. Absolutely not. I would rather have 16 SEC hosts than do 32 a 32 host bracket. So dumb.
I didn't mean to derail it. I just wanted to point out the fact that there will be plenty of new hosts and different environments and plenty of conferences represented with hosts, if there was 32. But I am in agreement and thinking that I think 16 is perfect. And I think the way that they're set up, like the 3s and 4 seeds are just as live as the 1s and 2s in a 16 team or 16 regional 4 team double elimination format than they are in a 32 hosts best of 3.
They are. Dude, so. You know what's crazy? I'm looking at this field of 64 projector. If by chance, and I know it won't happen this way, but if by chance, like the 1 seeds in all of the mid-major tournaments win their conference tournament, I mean, we're looking at an absolutely loaded field of 64 bracket with 4 seeds such as like Creighton and San Diego State, who's won 11 straight. Look, they've already beat UCLA once. Dude, some of these 4 seeds are dangerous, man.
Yeah, I mean, call me a loser or a chalk-eating weasel.
4 seed is nuts.
Yeah, you call me a loser or a chalk-eating weasel all you want, but that's the reason why I root for chalk during that second to final week of the season in conference tournaments. Like, I want the best, the teams that played very, very well throughout conference play in the regular season. I do believe that the cream tends to rise to the top throughout those 10 weeks, 12 weeks, however many conference weeks you do play. Yeah, I root for the chalk and those best teams because those are the teams that are going to put up what I believe the biggest and best fights in regionals. And yeah, I mean, I'm looking at just when you're talking about regionality, how about that Lawrence regional? You got Kansas as the 1, Arkansas as the 2, Missouri State as the 3, and Eastern Illinois as the 4. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, that would be, I mean, the crowds there are going to be electric. I have to keep reminding myself that this isn't set in stone. I'm getting excited about these potential matchups.
I mean, if you want to talk about potential matchups, how about Conway, the 2 and the 3 seed, West Virginia Pitt? We got the backyard brawl in Myrtle Beach.
They would, both of those fan bases would be at those Myrtle Beach strip clubs all night.
Hilarious. So funny. Did you see I know you saw it, but just for the pod, did you see the dude with a broom in Tallahassee in the front row? The West Virginia fan just sweeping away the Pitt funny.
That's why, dude, those are the little things in sports that make me crack up more than anything. We at the Florida State versus Pitt series down in Florida State, in Tallahassee, there is a West Virginia fan decked out in WVU gear with a broom on top of the dugout, sweeping Pitt away. Had nothing to do with West Virginia. And telling them bye-bye.
Yeah.
So funny. So let me ask you this, Noah. Is there a team in any sport that you root for? Like, could you see yourself doing this for any team you hate?
Yeah, yeah, I could. The only way I'd do it is like if the Ohio State football team was playing in a neutral site game in like Indy or Toledo or something,
Yeah.
and I could go to their playoff game and they get smoked by like 28, and somehow I brought like I don't know, but yeah, that would be the only time I could picture myself ever
Hate
doing it.
watching is almost more fun than well, actually, it is way more fun than rooting for your own team because that's the most stressful thing in the world.
I do know, like, I probably know a couple of Detroit Lions fans that would take cheese graters and just go to like a Green Bay Chicago game.
Yeah.
But y- this most of the time, I would say 85% of the time, you see this in college sports way more than pro.
1,000.
Your pro sports, like, what's this guy doing here? Is like the random guy that's gonna wear the New York Yankees hat to a Dallas Cowboys against Philly Eagles game. You know,
Right. I wonder at what point did the guy in the West Virginia gear, he probably woke up today in Tallahassee, maybe he has a job or something. He lives down there. He's like, it'd be really funny if I brought a broom, my own broom, from my one-bedroom apartment to the stadium to watch Pitt get swept by Florida State.
I love how we're stereotyping West Virginia fans. Because if we were, the beard and the hair are right on that.
That guy's not married. There's no way. He lives the life. He's up playing Grand Theft Auto at 4 a.m, trying to come up with funny ideas to do. He's like my type of guy. I know that. I know that guy.
I've seen that guy
way.
before.
I'm like friends with that guy in an indirect way.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of like other just funny shit that was a surprising sight to see at a baseball game or a baseball field. Can we talk? We got to talk about the Kirk Saarloos ejection.
There were two ejections that we absolutely have to talk about.
But
one of them was Kirk Saarloos.
That leather briefcase stole the show.
So funny. It's the same briefcase that like Papa Simpson in that GIF. He walks in and out the door, and the slow walk. Let me set the stage for the podcast listeners.
Do it, please, because I was at a baseball game. I didn't see this live. You were texting about it. I was like, I can't wait to see it, and it lived up to the hype, dude. That thing blew up. It went nuclear.
I'm freaking out because I'm watching this live develop. Usually, I don't see this stuff live, and like I'll catch the 11.7 clip that Dimitri has. But I'm watching Oklahoma State host TCU, and it's a beautiful, beautiful uniform matchup. I tweeted about it on my personal account. Like, these are two of my top 10 individual favorite jerseys in college baseball. It's the all-black Oklahoma State jerseys with the orange letters and the bat that goes underneath it.
The bat is elite.
Two-tone hats, two-tone helmets, white pants. It looks great. And then TCU's gray pinstripes are beautiful. Big font, TCU across the chest. You know who they are. So I'm watching that game because I'm like, hey, I like both of these teams. I like both uniforms. Like, it's a Saturday night. I'm just chilling by myself. Like, let me just watch the game, not have my phone out, just enjoy some good college baseball at night. And all of a sudden, there's this review, the tag play at third base, and it's a big, long review, and it's really a 50-50 call. I couldn't tell if the guy was out or if he was safe, but you could just you could see Kirk Saarloos build the momentum, build the energy from the side in the dugout, where he knows if they overturn this, I'm getting tossed. 1000% I'm getting tossed. And the umpires come back, they overturn the call, and he actually comes out like not guns a-blazing. He's yelling, but not too much. Like you can read his lips. He's saying some bad words. And then, he kind of blew up on both umpires, just being like, you can't do that. That's a terrible call. That's horrible.
I loved the part where the home plate umpire tosses him and Kirk's like, my main issue's not even with you. Get out of my way.
Trying to push him aside. And then you see the other umpire hold up a number 2. Like, that's a 2-game suspension. And he gets his words in with a third base umpire. Things cool off. And then you start hearing the announcers. They're like, oh, man, this will be funny. Like, the way O'Brate is built, he has to exit through left center field. Like, unless he wants to go up through the stands, which I know he doesn't want to do on a road game, he's going to have to walk all the way across. And then you can kind of see a smirk on Kirk Sarlo's face, like a brief side smirk. Like, oh, I'm going to take my time.
Yeah, that thing was just left, right.
Who would have thought he had a legitimate leather suitcase? Rawlings leather. Shout out Rawlings and Will Upton, my brother. But a Rawlings leather suitcase that he is holding, knee height, and just strolls out of the stadium. It took him 2.5 minutes to walk from the first base dugout to left center field. All-time hilarious moment, hilarious clip.
So funny, dude.
So I'm like texting Dimitri, like, please be awake. Like, dude, you have to go and clip this right now. It's freaking hilarious. And he did, and it blew up all over social media. But man, that was a good moment. And then from that moment on, Oklahoma State buried TCU. The ejection didn't help. They lost all momentum.
A plus to the broadcast as they like zoom out.
All the way out
center field,
straight from NASA,
funny, dude.
A little dot in the field.
Yeah. I mean, that park is beautiful. It is a palace in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma and Stillwater. But yeah, I mean, there's kids just like boo.
And in left center, there's 4 kids. Boo, bye, go home. And I saw one of the kids. They're probably 7 or 8 years old. One of the dads like comes down and like taps his kid, and he's like, "No, don't do that. Like, don't do anything stupid."
The stereos or the stadium stereos playing the na 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 na.
Yeah,
hey.
The showmanship was incredible by Oklahoma State, and Oklahoma State. I think they came back in all 3 games. They swept TCU, so they look like they're in the tournament now. Like 3 weeks ago, we couldn't have said that.
They should be. Yeah, they should be. And I know you're a huge Battle Grays advocate. Did you see they were wearing Battle Grays at home on Friday night?
They weren't. Those are like the dark grays, though.
They're like a charcoal. But charcoal. I mean, it wasn't black. And it wasn't
beautiful.
White.
No, they have beautiful, like the traditional classic gray that they were on the road, and those are in the top 10 as well. But
another one with the bat. They're one of the very few that do the bat, and they do it elite.
The bat. I was looking at those jerseys this weekend. And I'm like, man, I wish Mercer would just replicate all of those instead of saying Oklahoma State. Say like Mercer Bears across.
You remember that? The fad of the baby blues when everybody had to have a baby blue uniform. Team could be red and white, but
they're called powder blues, but
powder blue uniform. Let's make it with the bat logo, because the powder blues, they didn't make sense when you didn't have blue in your logo or your team colors, but everybody can do a bat.
Everybody can. I agree with that. My favorite bats are I like what the St. Louis Cardinals and like Tulane does with the bat, like the yellow bat that their logo sits on. Those are cool. Man, we could have our own just college baseball uniform podcast.
It's an off-season topic.
I could sit here and talk about it for days. The other ejection from this weekend that was actually social media wise more viral was Wake Forest.
Crazy, by the way. Crazy.
Yeah, Wake Forest third base coach. What is Sintali?
Bill Sileno.
Sileno. Went nuclear on the home plate umpire and accidentally spit a loogie on his cheek. You see the umpire like wipe it off, and then in the middle of like a heated argument, it reminds me of like when I'm yelling at my son Brooks, and then like I'll actually like step on his toes or something, like, and he ow, ow, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, like I didn't mean it, like that was an
Yeah.
accident. Exactly what he did to the umpire.
Yeah.
So I love it because it wasn't personal, right? He was just trying to get his guys fired up for another comeback win against Louisville, and he's dog cussing him, yelling in his face, spits on him, and then grabs his shoulder like, dude, I'm so sorry. And then he gets right back into yelling.
Yeah.
So funny, dude.
Dude, here's a big brain thing. We were talking about before the show, and I was like, I can't tease this because then it won't make it fun on the pod. So you kind of hinted at what I was thinking is like when you step on Brooks's toes or something like that.
Yeah.
If you're an umpire, to suppress the situation, doesn't matter if a loogie was hawked onto you or not. Just wipe your cheek, and then maybe the coach will stop. Because if you're just getting maybe a little Sammy sprinkler, but not like the entire thing, just wipe your cheek and kind of suppress the situation. And the coach, who knows, maybe he's got a conscience, maybe he's got a heart.
Right. No, I was hoping the umpire would actually like do a full NBA flop. Get spit on and then fall over.
Oh, you mean like in the College World Series?
Yeah. Oh God, dude. Yeah. Exactly like that. Still makes me mad. But I guess while we're talking about Wake, just real quick, big props to Wake Forest and Oklahoma State. Both, I don't want to say saved their season because
the Wake Forest Louisville was an elimination series. No,
right. Well, it was more elimination for Louisville. I mean, if Louisville sweeps that series, like it is a completely different ACC than it is right now. Wake
it was elimination for Wake too, because if they lose that series, they're at 15 ACC losses.
Yeah, but Wake, I mean, dude, Wake's already up in the hosting picture again. They're 20 or 21 in the RPI. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not there with Wake. They're 5-14 in quad one.
Yeah, and they got some work to do, but all three wins. I think two of them were walk-offs or at least comeback wins.
Yeah.
I don't know. The offense looks good. It sucks for Louisville though, and Louisville fans because their offense is so good, and their pitching this year was so bad. Like if they had a halfway decent pitching staff, they're probably they're probably a national seed. They're up there with Georgia Tech and North Carolina with talent-wise. Because you look at it, like Lucas Moore, very disappointing year this year for him. Guy that was supposed to steal 40 to 50 bases and hit 350. I think he's hitting like low twos. Zion Rose has been injured a little bit, but Tage Davis was really the story from this weekend as far as like Louisville goes. He hit his 30th home run, 28, 29, and 30 this weekend. He's everything you want in a baseball player, dude. No batting gloves, no swag. Just go up to the plate, grip the bat, and let it rip. I think he's the front runner right now for Golden Spikes. The problem is he's not going to play in a regional, super regional, or College World Series unless Louisville comes on this miracle ACC tournament run and gets that automatic qualifier. And I posed the question, who was the last Golden Spikes winner to not play in the postseason? And it was Andrew Vaughn in 2018, Kyle Lewis in 2016 were the two answers. It sucks because I really think if they did play into the College World Series or at least through super regionals like Condon did, I think Tage Davis would win that BB Core record home run chase. I think he'd get way over 37.
Yeah, I find it interesting that how close is it in your eyes between Davis and Hairston?
Well, there's another guy that stepped into it. Colin Ritchie, the way he's swinging it, he could definitely get in the picture there. I mean, Hairston has better – I think he's got better overall metrics and numbers, but Tage Davis is – I mean, isn't he leading in home runs and RBIs? How many RBIs does he have? 70?
He definitely is leading in homers.
75 or 80 RBI. He's got a ton of RBIs too. I think he's leading the country.
So Taig's got 84 RBI. Landon Hairston's got 74. So
They're
it's 10 more, but
too.
I know that. I mean, I think that draft year or senior trend of the Golden Spikes is getting broken this year. Let's see here. RBI leader. It is Davis, 84, and the second place is Landon Hairston at 74.
That's what I'm saying. I do think the season ended today, I think Tage Davis wins it.
Yeah, and then you got Tage Davis, who's your home run leader at 30. Shout out Hunter Ray from Fairleigh Dickinson at 26 homers. They've been tagging FDU's social team has been tagging 11.7 in some of the Instagram stuff, and we've been collaborating with them on
Let's
Hunter
play a game.
Ray's
Let's play a
run.
game called "Where is he going to transfer to this year?"
Oh, Ben, stop.
Is he a senior? He's not a
No,
senior.
he's a
right?
sophomore.
Sophomore, right?
You're saying the quiet part out loud, but
it's a no-brainer, dude.
I mean, for Fairleigh Dickinson's sake, I hope he stays. But and then it's a two-way tie at 25 between Landon Hairston and Colin Ritchie. I just think Hairston's got Ritchie beat when it comes to average.
Yeah.
10 more RBIs, 30 less strikeouts. That's the thing that Hairston's got on Davis, actually. Hairston's got 43 free passes to 22 walks, and Davis, or 43 free passes to 22 strikeouts, and Tage Davis has 52 strikeouts and 35 free passes.
I don't think that matters that much.
It matters to me. I don't know if it matters to the voters.
We've seen the voters, dude. Like, the voters will vote off of like the most basic statistics out there. Homers, RBIs,
hit the four baggers, man.
Average.
This guy hit the ribbies. We can't move on from the Wake Forest Louisville series without mentioning. So in that Thursday night primetime window, every single game shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
I have never seen personally a game where two home plate umpires exit due to injury. And I know that game was in the fifth. The first pitch was 7:00. That was in the fifth inning at 9:30.
Like, they were long games,
long slog down there in Winston-Salem this weekend. But yeah, they had two home plate umpire injuries and then a pitching injury. So that game on Thursday night was so slow. But the third home plate umpire, shout out to him, because he saw more total pitches than the first two combined.
Because the game went nuts. Walks hit by. Both teams walked everybody. It's so long. It finished up at like 11:35 p.m.
It did. It went pretty late into the night. And then the other Thursday night game that hit the fan. Vanderbilt pulled Connor Fennell, and then the floodgates opened for the rest of the weekend. The rest of the weekend, Alabama had control.
Right. Now, people are going to hate this take, but I'm pretty sure last weekend the opposite happened with Connor Fennell. Didn't they leave him in? I think they left him in too long last weekend, and he kind of blew it that Friday game. Maybe it was a Thursday night. No, it was a Friday last weekend. And then they took him out. Corbs takes him out at the 70 pitch mark, and you can read his lips like, "Coach, it's only 70. Like, let me go more." And then the bullpen blows it. But I want to give more credit to
the best part about that meltdown, real quick, is just the amount of cuts they did to the dugout, and he is like in the hallway losing his mind. Man.
Yeah, they did
him dirty.
They should have just not. I don't agree with that stuff.
That's also Dimitri, like, knowing the crowd too, and including that in that clip. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. But I wanted to give more credit to Alabama. Like, they were in a lot of people's around social media Field of 64 projection. Didn't have them hosting up in like last week, like last Wednesday or Thursday. And the reason why that was given was like, oh, we expect this team to like not finish strong down the stretch. And even though they have an above 500 SEC record and a really good RPI, like, oh, we're just going to assume Alabama's going to fade towards the end. And Alabama went and swept Vanderbilt at home. And dude, I don't know. I think they're tied for what are they tied for 4th place or 5th place now in the SEC? Like they are in a prime position to host. I think they will end up hosting. It's a good team. Like Rob Vaughn has it feels like another really good Alabama team that's star players are underperforming, which makes him even more lethal in the postseason.
And I was going to mention, like, he brought in his best recruiting class this year. All those guys are freshmen, and they're playing well.
Yeah.
Eric Hines hitting nukes this weekend, and Miles Upchurch has been a sturdy arm for them on Sundays in the SEC. Like I love Upchurch as a prospect.
I like Zane Adams.
Forward.
Zane Adams is a great pitcher. Dude.
Yeah, he's been there. Like, was he a junior, senior this year?
Junior now, yeah.
Yeah, he was draft eligible last year and then came back, and that, I mean, him and Faye in that weekend rotation coming back this year is a reason why they're here. I mean, credit to those guys for performing too.
But hey, Vanderbilt's in like trouble now. They're not in the be careful category anymore. Like they're in trouble of snapping the Division I longest active postseason streak. Did I say that right? Longest active Division I postseason streak.
I think you're right in the phrasing of it, and I think I've been there with Vanderbilt. Like, I think the SEC total wins narrative is BS because they're going to ultimately get to probably 14, 13. What are they at right now? And then they've got Missouri, and they play, is it South Carolina? Their last 2 weekends. Like, they're going to get the number. They're at 10 SEC wins right now, and they play at Missouri, and then they host South Carolina. This team's winning 14 or 15 SEC games. I ain't buying it, dude.
What's their current RPI at?
I can't get there with Vandy. They're 71st right now, currently in RPI, and I'm pulling up their quad numbers right now because they're nothing. It doesn't blow you away. They're 5-15 in quad 1, and this is a team that if they get 14 or 15 wins, they're going to be a no-brainer from the selection committee, and I just totally disagree.
Yeah, no, 5-15 quad 1 does not deserve. I don't care what conference you're in. You're 5-15 quad 1. That does not deserve a postseason berth. You proved that you cannot win the games.
And I'll say this too. Like, this is a team, there's a handful of them in the SEC this year that were not aggressive in non-conference scheduling. Non-conference strength of schedules 265. You asked for this. This is why your RPI is at 71, because you scheduled a home series against Marist. You scheduled a home series against North Dakota State. And then they went 0-3 in the Las Vegas Classic against, I hate to say it, UC Irvine and Arizona did not pan out this year. No. You put your eggs into that basket one weekend, along with the Shriners. So two of your 4 conference non-conference weekends, you're like, we're playing power conference competition or like typical NCAA tournament teams. That's good enough. And it just wasn't this year because a couple of these teams haven't panned out. Like, you look at the Big 12 teams that they played, they lost to TCU, they lost to Oklahoma State. Both of those are bubble teams, and Texas Tech's firmly out of the NCAA tournament picture. And that was their one win.
Texas Tech has given up, dude. I watched some of their games against Baylor. Just totally checked out.
You watched the Butt Bowl this weekend?
The Butt Bowl, yeah, I did. I am a little intrigued with Baylor. I think they're actually really talented, and Tyson Armstrong is a really, really good hitter that I hope comes back next year for him. But yeah, I mean, going back to Vanderbilt and LSU are both in that bucket of, I hope the committee evaluates them for who they are and who they have been this year. Because they could easily just be like, both of those fan bases, especially the LSU one, will make a big draw. Like, we'll get higher viewership numbers, more attendance, more money spent. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
And LSU did just sweep South Carolina, but like, they're supposed to. Let's not get excited about a sweep over South Carolina. LSU still has a lot of work to do. They're 9-15 in the SEC. 2 weekend series left.
At Georgia versus Florida.
At Georgia versus Florida. Now, if they go and win both of those series and it puts them at 13-17, They win 2 out of 3, both of those. That's a different conversation, because then at least LSU can say, hey, we won our last 3 weekend series, win a game or two in the SEC tournament like that. They deserve. I think they deserve to be in the conversation. Their RPI will be fine if that happens.
They turn into last year's Mississippi State.
Correct. Yeah, like they have at least momentum and a case to be, a case to sit on. Now, if they go 1-1 in those last 2 weekend series, Georgia and Florida, then I think we have to just as a
13
nation,
and 17.
No, that would put them at 12 and 18 if they go 1-2, 2-1.
Yeah.
So 12 and 18, and they split the last 2 weekend series. I think we got to keep them out. They didn't deserve to be in the postseason at that point. They also lost a series at home to Sac State. Let's not forget. So, but for me, I think it would be good if LSU won these last 2 series and won a game or 2 in the SEC tournament. I think it's good for the sport to have them in the NCAA tournament, just because their fan base is large and I don't know, they're fun to interact with on social media.
Well, it's also nice to have the defending national champions at least in the field of 64. At least that's a narrative that you can have. But
correct. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, I don't want to spend too much time on that. But those 2 storylines definitely will be looming this the last 2 weeks of regular season play. I do want to give a shout out to Ohio State. Ohio State swept Nebraska, and not only swept Nebraska, swept their hosting chances away from them. Like, Nebraska probably not going to host a regional now, and it sucks. But they played with their food, and I think I want to give more credit to Justin Hare and his success he's having at Ohio State in year 2, coming from Campbell, all of those good Camel teams. Back in really go back to like 2017, 16, excuse me, up until 2024. But like, it took him a year, but after a year, he turned Ohio State completely around. They're in 6th place now in the Big Ten, 12 and 11 in conference. They've already doubled their wins from last year. They defended the home turf, and like, he got them up ready to play against a really good team, and they stepped on their necks and never let them up. Now, with all that said, if Nebraska goes on a run here, bounces back next weekend and the weekend after that, and then we know they always play well in the Big Ten tournament.
Always.
They can definitely earn a regional host back in Lincoln, Haymarket Park. Like, they can earn it back. It's not off the table. But right now, they are not in any position to host a regional.
No, you're right. Yeah, I don't have much to add. I appreciate you leaving that open-ended, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to take the pitch that is sitting on the tee because I didn't watch a whole lot of this. I got DM'd by one Jabba Chamberlain, and I believe he basically just stated so plainly, well, that was a disappointing weekend for Nebraska, and I just responded with a broken heart because it's like, dude, that Lincoln Regional would have been just – I pictured the Lincoln Regional, I pictured the Lawrence Regional the exact same. I think both of those will be electric, wonderful sights to see in the game of college baseball. And yeah, that was a tough one to see. In the same aspect as you, I was looking to turn this into like an Ohio State talking topic because you look at last year's Buckeyes team, and they had the worst ERA of any power conference team in the country.
Yeah.
This year, it's not tremendously better. They're sitting at a 5.95, but it is sub 6. And there's a handful of teams that are above a 6 ERA. And you look at a couple of guys, like they're headed in the right direction is the number one thing that I can say. And I point to the mound is they're able to get outs this year. And that I know they struggled with injuries last year, and this year they're just able to, they've got a lot of guys that are just sitting mid 4s, low 5s ERA and able to stack some outs. That's a big difference between this year's team and last year's team for me.
Yeah. And it goes back to the point we always hit on in the pod. But having that head coach and with the head coach comes the staff. So important to this sport. The great coaches will always find a way to win, and it took them 12 months, but I expect even bigger and better things next year from Ohio State. Like I really do. I think they're going to be another non-West Coast Big Ten team that can get into the at-large bubble year in and year out. Potentially, like 5 years down the road, Ohio State might be a hosting contender. Who knows?
I agree with you on that. I wrote up Ohio State on the Dimer report, and they had more than a handful of JUCO guys. I'm wondering if I put the total in here, but they had a handful of more than a handful of JUCO transfers this year. And you know what they say about JUCO transfers coming up in the D1? It's the second year that really they kind of break out and emerge, and you're seeing that with Kansas, turning into a top 10 team. Kansas last year was a little further along than where Ohio State's at this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see next year the Buckeyes have a similar 2025 season to what Kansas had in 2025.
1,000%. And dude, the state of Ohio has such good baseball talent, and at least in the high school ranks. And I think that this is going to be a very prideful place to go play college baseball for high school guys as well. Let's talk about Kansas. I know we briefly talked about like they've won 27 in the last 30, but you brought up Kansas. There was a tweet going around last week about Kansas's starting lineup, and it was like D2, NAIA, JUCO, NAIA, JUCO. What that staff has done, dude. I don't know if I remember ever seeing anything like it in the sport of college baseball, where they take a non-traditional approach nowadays, but it used to be a very traditional approach of like, hey, let's go get some guys that are under recruited. Let's go develop them, build a team chemistry and bond together, and embrace a culture, right? That's what always made the Cal State Fullerton teams good. It made the Rice teams really good. They always had Texas was another good culture school. Oregon State, where guys buy in and like they lean into the whole, hey, we weren't recruited by you, and like we're gonna now beat you. And that's what Kansas has done this year. All-time heater of a streak for the Jayhawks, and the amount of excitement and momentum that sport has on campus. Yeah, it's quickly going to become a top priority for any student to go out and get tickets before they're sold out to get to the game. Like it's a hot commodity there. A couple points I have. One, Kansas at this point deserves not only to host a regional, but to be a national seed. You said that earlier in the show about they deserve to play home baseball games until Omaha. I think any team in the field of 64 would hate to go play at Kansas. I think that home field advantage is real. And Dylan not Vague. That's different.
Vigu at
Vigu.
Georgia.
Yeah, Dylan Vaguely. I had them both written down here. I'm sorry. But the 16 strikeout.
Dominic Vaguely.
Dominic Vaguely. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I thought I corrected myself. Dominic Vaguely. 16 strikeout, complete game after giving up a couple runs early, settled in. The slider is a invisible. Yeah. The last few starts he's had, it's scary. And it's scary what he can do and carry that staff to an Omaha appearance.
Yeah, I'm doing math live pod, but I mentioned this on the College Experience podcast that I do with JP Sponseller, but I watched his pitching, his outing against UCF, and it was like the beginning of like a transformation mid-season for Vaguely. And you look at him, his last 4 starts, and I was trying to calculate ERA in his last 4 games, but as I'm talking, I can't do it. I can't multitask. But he's gone 4 straight starts, 6+ innings at least. In 3 of them, he's had 10+ strikeouts. 2 of them, he's put up 15 strikeouts. He had 15 punchies against Oklahoma State and then 15 in the complete game against Arizona. but he's gone 4 straight quality starts, and that's like his best stretch of baseball since his freshman year. And that is a wonderful sight for Kansas, because last year I would say even he would admit it wasn't necessarily the year that he would have liked. And you look at him right now and he's got a 7 ERA and it's a little bloated, but the Dom Vaguely that we are watching right now is the Dom Vaguely that we saw, who was in like freshman pitcher of the year, or not even freshman pitcher of the year, but just pitcher of the year period award conversation in the Big 12 2 years ago. And yeah, this kid is a stud when he's throwing like this. And you're complimenting that slider. I didn't watch that Arizona game because I was at a game in person, but the off speed just in general has been on a different level lately for him. So
he's kind of got, to put it in like MLB draft perspective, he's kind of got the Cade Horton from Oklahoma in 22 or 20, was it 2022? Yeah, 2022, where like the draft stock is going to continue to climb as the season goes on. If he keeps putting these numbers up, he's untouchable when he's on. He really is, dude. Imagine him in those Omaha Shadows. It's gonna be unhittable.
Arizona, they've had their woes offensively all year, but you look at it. Kansas State, Oklahoma State are 2 of the best offenses, not only in the conference, but in the country.
Yeah.
And that's 2 of the 4 teams that he's faced in the sample size. That's no joke. He's been shoving in April and the first day of May.
Yep. Well, I don't know if Jack's going to hop on or not. I haven't heard from him.
Yeah. By the way, you mentioned like all the NAIA guys, the JUCO guys. That's the Heartland Conference, baby. I believe it was D2 league. But yeah, D2 NAI. I know like all those schools are loaded in the JUCO NAI D2 area, and that's, you know, Dan Fitzgerald's strength in recruiting, or at least that staff's strength in recruiting, is just those levels of baseball in middle of America. And the Heartland, I know, was a huge conference for that. A couple of years ago, back when I played anyway.
That part of the country is really good at non-Division I baseball.
Yes. Yeah. Like just out of nowhere, I can name like Science of Arts in Oklahoma was a really good NAIA. Like you got Central Oklahoma, who was College World NAIA College World Series runner-up in 2024. So yeah, I could go all day on the NAIA schools there, but yeah, there's like a Nazarene school from Kansas or something that's nationally really good every year.
Well, but, I know which one you're talking about.
It's like Kansas Nazarene or something.
But, yeah,
or Mid-America Nazarene.
That's what
I think it is.
That's what I think it is. So I think Jack's actually going to hop on it. He just texted back and asked if we're still on so he can jump on. But before it's probably going to take him a few minutes, I imagine. So a couple other talking points before we go UCLA and Michigan State, and then also Mississippi State, Texas. Christian Turner, walk-off homer against Ole Miss, wins the series for Arkansas. Don't sleep on the Hogs. I think they can still play their way into a hosting picture. I think they're going to turn it around. Like, that team's too talented, and they should have like an automatic win every Friday.
How did Gackle do today? I didn't watch the game.
I didn't watch it either. I was actually doing yard work today during most of that game. I didn't have that one on. I was listening to the Mercer-Samford game, which was disgusting while I was doing yard work. But yeah, I think Arkansas is a team that, don't forget about them. They have the pieces. I saw Loy hit a ball 469 feet today.
Dude, it went into like a food truck stand.
Yeah, that was so impressive to see. And yeah, I mean, they have. It feels like they're more offensive than last year, and I don't know. We'll see. They'll probably end up in Omaha again. Don't
4
count them
innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk for Gackle. Better than his average output as a starting pitcher, but still not excellent. He'll probably still be a reliever moving forward, but yeah, I mean, we'll see about that third starting spot for Arkansas because
Yeah.
yeah, it was Gackle, and then was it Gibbler who's the Friday that got
he got
knocked out of the weekend rotation too. So
right. Now I want to bring up this conspiracy one more time, talking about Arkansas. Wouldn't it just be awesome to see Arkansas win the national championship this year? Dave Van Horn gets, sent off into the sunset. Thank you so much. Got our first national championship. You were great. Did you see who's been struggling in San Francisco? Vitello just
would it
is
be
not.
Voni Tivello or something?
Yeah, it's just, dude, I don't think he's cut to be a major league manager. He looks miserable. His team's been awful. Worst slugging team in the country.
Really?
Yeah, they've just been awful. I think they've been shut out 7 times this year. And he needs to get back into college baseball. I think it could happen as soon as this year. Arkansas wins a national championship. I think Van Horn literally goes and goes off to the sunset.
That would be tremendous situational awareness if Vitello and the Giants were able to pull the plug after 1 year.
Yeah. I think he walks away. He needs to be back in college baseball, dude. He's built for it.
Oh my God. I would love him in college. I see MLB fans like picking on him, roasting on the dude. Like, no, this is the guy that you should love. Like,
right.
This is a guy that makes press conferences fun to watch.
Exactly. I had that written in my notes. I just got to keep bringing up that conspiracy because I think he will be the next head coach of Arkansas baseball. I believe it in my gut.
So Arkansas finishes with Oklahoma and at Kentucky. Dude, Dave Van Horn, automatic 18 wins.
Yeah, he's
every year.
I wouldn't say automatic. Kentucky, after you sold all your stock, I was going to wait for Jack to come on the show to start teaming up on you again. But Kentucky looked really good this weekend.
The Buzzcats, man, they're 3-1.
Right after you sold their stock and we bought it all up from you, they turned it around. They played well. They won the series against Tennessee.
I just want it known that I stated I'm selling stock, or I said I'm selling all of my stock in Kentucky, and I did it because I wanted them to have and see success. Yeah, that's why I did it.
Just like Arizona last year. So I can't wait for the 2027 team that you're hyping up in the preseason, and then you will sell their stock probably in April or March, and then we'll scoop it all up just like Arizona last year, and they'll go to Omaha.
I just want it known that if you guys didn't bring it up, like I wasn't in panic mode about Kentucky. I wouldn't have mentioned Kentucky in any of the pods. Like I was just riding it out. They were in the basement. Like, why would you sell when the stock is at an all-time low?
Hey, Jack is in the show now. I know you don't have too much time. We'll get to your Texas-Mississippi State series in just a second. But how rich are you right now buying all of the Kentucky stock last week at pennies on the dollar, and then they go out and win the weekend series like we guaranteed last week against Kentucky?
I called that too.
Yeah. Against Tennessee.
I mean, I guess the really only way to answer this, guys, Kentucky and LSU. Are we just the smartest guys in the whole world?
You bought LSU stock and Kentucky stock. You're a rich man right now.
I did pick South Carolina in that series, though. So I was forced to because I wrote down my picks, and I was saying while Dimitri was burying himself in a hole alive, I was like, if I wasn't tied to this, I would be switching to LSU right now.
I gotta tell you guys, of all the podcasts that we've done together, of all the incredible.
Did you get a haircut?
Yeah, we're bald, baby face on the sides too.
Whoa.
I will say that's actually two things. Of all the comments that I've received from folks over the years doing college baseball content, I've never gotten more ha-ha-has about this shit 3-on-1 pylon that Noah received on Sunday. I got so many people. Like, damn, y'all went at the boy for no reason.
I know.
And then two, yeah, it's okay. I mean, you earned it. And then second, so many people calling me a babyface bitch with no mustache. So yeah. A lot of learning.
different look there. All right, Jax, I know you don't have too much time. Talk to us about Texas, Mississippi State this weekend. We do need to bring up the freshman of the year race as well between Anthony Pack Jr., Jorian Wilson, and Nico Partido. Both of them Aggies. But I'll lead you off with this. One, great interview with Anthony Pack Jr. I thought that was a fun interview. You got to see the young kid step into an interview role that I know he probably wasn't as comfortable doing, but you got to see like a very excited guy that got to win the weekend series against Mississippi State. And it felt like you broke him open a little bit. Like he was pumped to get talked to by media. What do you think about Anthony Pack Jr.? Oh, he's muted.
Jack's riding the mute button here.
All right, so guys, we've got a lot of moving pieces, kind of like Anthony Pack's swing. We've got wedding breakdown in the great state of Texas. We've got a beautiful, sick, significant other that's watching The Devil Wears Prada, and just
Great
like
movie.
the second movie that will be coming out here soon, we're very excited about the bright future of Anthony Pack.
They're coming out with a second one?
Dude, second Devil Wears Prada, we're going to be dialed in the DeLong household.
I love that.
Very similar to the dialed swing of Anthony Pack. Boys, it's real. Like, the confidence is through the roof, and he plays with this, like, very much so Schloss-esque swagger of, like, every at-bat's professional. It doesn't always look the same. But his SEC splits, like, when you look at it, like, with Chris Rembert last year at Auburn, he got better in SEC play, which is so
good call out.
Yeah, he's kind of gotten better throughout the year, which that's not supposed to happen. So really impressive win. I thought Luke Harrison today in that first, he gave up the 5 spot, a grand slam. Shout out to Bryce Chance's first homer of the year. That's how you win in that league. Like, you win in that league by finding a way to go get 5 quality innings, even though you throw 40 pitches quite literally in the first inning. It takes those type of performances. But that Mississippi State team is for real. Like, that felt like 2 teams that could see each other in Omaha, like we saw LSU and Arkansas for a chance to play for a natty last year.
That was my exact thought. When I was watching the game, I was like, man, when Mississippi State scored the 5 early in the game, I was like, man, I don't think this game is over yet. Like, Texas is going to have their own say at the end of this game. It's going to end up being close. But when Texas ended up blowing them out, I was like, dude, does this say more about Texas or Mississippi State? Because right now it looks like it's going to be it's going to be a team that's going to be tough to beat twice in a postseason. I know A&M just did it a couple weeks ago in the regular season, but man, both teams were loaded, firepower throughout both lineups. And I was not expecting to see Texas come back and blow them out.
Yeah, they're really interesting. I know A&M got them in like the emotion of that rivalry, but Texas A&M is like, that's a team, and I know they had a rough weekend, but like offensively, they pitch it averagely. They can go play in Omaha. Whereas Texas, like, Cozart hasn't, like, they haven't lost in a game that he's pitched this year. Brett Crosland is a freshman, and he looks like a guy that could play tight end on Saturdays.
Looks like a lumberjack.
Just
both of them, Cozart and Crossland.
They're so physical. So to see it all in person, like the energy of those two programs, I'd like to add this too, and I think I may have sent it in our group chat, but of all the amazing things, and you want to talk about like the 2 iconic brands, the coolest thing I saw today, and Cozart's unbelievable. He's going to pitch the big leagues for forever. And when you look at even Anthony Pack and Tinney and Robbins and Reese, there's just superstars everywhere. The coolest thing I saw today was Ron Polk smoking a cigar outside the stadium after the game. Dude, I know those videos go viral every week, but like, I'm like, that's does everyone know who that is? He's just sitting all by himself smoking a cigar right now. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. So
I have a great Ron Polk story for you. Right after ABCA, inside the Columbus, Ohio airport, I saw Ron Polk ask a member of the Columbus airport if they had a smoking room. Like he walked up to us. I guess maybe like I don't want to say security guard at the airport, but like he basically asked, "Is there a room to go like sit and smoke a cigar?" He wanted to so bad. Just walking around by himself in Columbus.
Such a level of badassery. I don't even know how to respond to that cool story. Like, truthfully, it's the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life.
The coolest guy ever.
They should let him smoke on plane. I think that should be a new rule, maybe a law.
Like grandfathered into it, yeah. Well, that's good stuff there, Jack. I do want to keep you on just for a little bit because Noah got to see UCLA versus Michigan State in person this weekend. You got to see UCLA in person 3 weeks ago. Dude, they're 24-0 in Big Ten play. I don't care what conference you play in. You can look at Wright State in the Horizon League. They're not going 24 in the Horizon League. I think 24-0 speaks loudly of a team. And then on top of that, was it 3 comeback wins this weekend, or at least late?
This weekend, it was 2 comeback wins and an escape by the skin of their teeth.
Right. And then coming back from down 10-2 today, putting up a 6 spot and then a 4 spot and then a 2 spot to win 14-12.
Yeah.
It tells me this team is legit and it's for real because they didn't give up and quit and were satisfied with 23-1. Like they wanted to stay undefeated in Big Ten play, fought back, won a big game, swept the series at Michigan State. Jack, was there something when you got to interview their players a few weeks ago? Was there something that maybe, I don't know, gave you a feeling that like, oh, this team is going to win the national championship?
Yeah, I'm sure Noah already said it, and you sound like
we saved this.
We haven't gone there yet
at all.
Oh,
no.
Dude, they fascinate the piss out of me, right? Like anyone who's listened an hour in, they know that UCLA 2 years ago had one of the, I think it was the 4th worst season in John Savin's tenure at UCLA, and
yeah, it was like 19 wins.
19, and then they keep all those guys, and they're an underdog team. They go to Omaha last year, and they keep all those guys. They start 8 juniors offensively, 7 of them in the same class. The only one that wasn't was Will Gasparino, who grew up playing travel ball with 4 of those said juniors. Like the brotherhood, the love that they share, it's all very player-led. That's all very real. But Noah, I would love your take on it because you just got to see it in person. Ben, you and I have such an admiration and mutual respect and frankly, like love watching John Savage go about his business. That culture, can't put on a shirt, can't put it on a wall, all those cliches. But like, you're right. Like even the most talented teams in the world lose at some point in time. Yeah. Right. The reason that when, like, I saw Noah text in our group chat, which again, hand up, awful texter. Oh, like Michigan State might run roll him here. I'm like, you hit him with the Corso. Not so fast, buddy. Because like it's the amount of detail. Like I legit don't think John Savage cares if they win a championship. Like of course he wants to. Yeah. He coaches every piece of the puzzle. And it's not like a micromanage. Each guy on that staff is very dialed into what they do. But when you watch their infield, like their IO, if you watch their fungo work, like you're just thinking to yourself, this isn't the number 1 team in the country. This is like, they practice. You think like number 1 team and maybe some SEC, ACC tendencies of like kind of big league, show and go, get your work in. UCLA's catchers are making 35 to 40, 100% bullet eye throws during IO. Like it's a 20-minute sweat lather. And John's like, this is what we do every game.
They're practicing like a 250 RPI team. Like we got to get better today.
Don't care. We will not take one of those days or throws off. Starters, arm hurts, good, throw through it. Like it's so impressive. No, I'm not sure if you got that kind of like same aura during pregame, but that's really what stood out to me.
So I think it's interesting that you bring that up too, because I usually am not a proponent of going to pregame batting practice or IO, only because me personally am. My gosh, was it cold as balls here in southeastern Michigan this weekend? And so you got the Los Angeles team coming over here for a 3-game set. But I do not go to a ton of games, mainly because of the weather, and I freeze like a popsicle. And I'm a guy that likes to take a lot of videos, so my hands are outside of my pockets, videoing at bats and whatnot. And so I personally don't like to skew just my judgment, my point of view, because I'm like, I only see these teams during the 9 innings. Like in Omaha last year, I barely watched BP or IO. But yeah, I made it a point to get there like an hour early every single day for the series. And yeah, it was like Tim Corbin-esque, like to compare it to an SEC program, uh, to how, fine detailed the IO was. And the BP was impressive as well, for it being as cold as it was. Now I find it interesting because my takeaway from the series is probably not nearly as much as yours. I think, Jack, this is how I proposed it to Ben and why I was like, I would love to hear from Jack. Assessing their play the last 3 weekends of UCLA baseball, I think they would admit it has not been up to their standards. You look at the Minnesota series, they kind of played with their food, but never were really in doubt of winning any of those games. Sacramento State, they pulled the first game out of their ass. They lose the Sunday game. And then this one with State, Sparty was with him every single game throughout the series. Like every single one of those, like I know a handful of guys on that Spartans baseball team, and it's so easy for me to interview them. After the game, they lose 3 different heartbreakers in 3 different ways where they feel like they had a chance to win that game, and it's almost impossible for me to talk to my buddies after the game. So, like, what were your takeaways play-wise? And just I have a feeling it's not the same as me after Michigan State as it was for you after Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota's different because I think Minnesota's actually really good. Like, that staff is building something cool, and like their Big Ten record is not indicative because like you're watching 93, 94 with really tight like spin and a good third pitch. So I was impressed by them. But to your point, you continuously watch this trend of like, how are they winning these games? And Ben and I talk about it all the time. Like, good teams know how to win. And I've done a lot of Coastal Carolina baseball over the last 2 years. I've been very blessed to work with that team, and I feel very comfortable saying it directly to a lot of those guys' face. Like, sometimes you look at them like talent for talent with other teams. You go, Texas State, like, man, 7 guys with 10 plus pumps, really talented, 93, 95. I got a subby that's 91, 92 that started on Saturday that went 7 scoreless with 2 hits. And they just win. Like, Aaron Fitt did an awesome article on like winners win. And I don't really know how to write this, but I'm going to try. So to go back to UCLA, there is this like dichotomy of, well, yeah, it's the number 1 pick in the draft, and it's Martin and Mullivai Lavu and Cal Randall, who's throwing 174 miles per hour this year, which has been pretty cool to watch. And Redeman, right? So who's going to be probably, I think it should be a first rounder, maybe on the outside looking in. I don't know. But anyways, there's so much talent. Not to say that Coastal Carolina doesn't have, top 5 round guys, but I just think you watch it and you go, well, they're sinking to the level of the preparation. So when you go down 11-2, you're like, I can't wait to figure out how we're going to do this. Like, there is no, we lost. This is hilarious. I can't wait to figure out like who's going to be the hero today.
It's a new challenge. Yeah. It's something that they get to look forward to. And it is kind of scary that, if this is their cold streak, the hot, cold, hot.
I know.
Dude, like, look out for when everything heats up and everything starts clicking for them.
And I want to put it like Ben said it really well there. I think the punctuation, there needs to be a punctuation mark, I think. Unless it was this game where they're down 10-2, they're staring reality right in the face that, like, we're about to lose the freaking undefeated Big Ten record to Michigan State. Like, the team that I was watching on Sunday was a team that I thought needed to taste their own blood. It was a team that was missing throws into the infield from the outfield, just cutoffs. Like, they were credited in 3 games, 5 errors. I counted on 2 hands misplays this weekend, and it's like up to their standards, not UCLA baseball. And I know they're freaking talented as hell because I watch this team almost every weekend because they're just an entertaining brand of baseball to watch because it's a West Coast style with a little bit of, punk and pizzazz. I think I just made up 2 words, but that's like the fact of this team.
Two good words.
But like when you look, a lot of people were going to be like, he saw them play against Minnesota and Michigan State, right? But when you look at this weekend in particular with Michigan State, I think you're going to circle it and say that was the weekend that Weil and Moss made a statement as like, this guy's here to play. Next year, he's going to be the Friday night starter.
Oh, yeah.
And he's filled in for Logan Redeman almost perfectly. It's back-to-back starts where he's been phenomenal. He set a career high in innings pitched, career high in strikeouts on Friday night against Sparty. And then you look at Sunday night, or Sunday afternoon, they're down 10-2. And who was it? Tie ball game, runners on base. It was Rock Chalosky hitting a laser to left field. It was misplayed, but the fact that you saw that much emotion out of Rock,
Yeah,
I think says the world, because that's a guy that in the most complimentary way possible that I can put it, he's so stoic, Bisman like kind of been there, done that type of attitude that I see from him on the ball field. It was like a couple of let's fucking go or let's go. It was like screaming at the dugout, and it was like on an air, but like they were just so jacked up and psyched about that. So I absolutely loved it. And I got to interview a couple of the guys. My biggest takeaway, Mulavai Levu hit 2, just bombs into the Red Cedar River beyond right field. One of them was an absolute moonshot. Talking to him after the game, Jack. So I don't know if they did this to you, but the UCLA team, they're just a bunch of goofballs, man. They're like standing behind you, doing different stuff to try to get the attention, typical broadcast stuff or interviews. But Levu, he plays with so much passion and like, energy on the field and all the celebrations and his mannerisms on the field, off the field. He's like, I mean this also complimentary, bashful, kind of, off-puttish, shy. It struck me surprising because it's not the way he plays, and I mean that complimentary. He
those
plays
are the
a
type of guys
loud,
that are like the
loud,
great
powerful
baseball players.
game, man.
Yeah, they're the great baseball players because they have a switch. Like they flip a switch and like nothing else matters besides baseball.
Yeah. And what's cool too is not to say that he's not media trained because those guys have been talking to everybody, but there is like a lack of eyeballs that like they're not getting comparative to the SEC. So like when you do go out there, like it's a level of appreciation that's really cool too. So they're special, and they've all put their ego aside. Like I was told by multiple people on that staff and just even like in the college baseball space, and this idea like Roman Martin might be the second best shortstop in the country. And the problem is he's playing next to the best shortstop in the country. And Mulavai Levu actually could probably be a top 5 third baseman in baseball, but the number 2 shortstop in the country is playing third. And did you know, I mean, he was like Levu could play center field. Like there are guys, Aguayo could play short. Like they're all playing out of position because it's just for what's good of the team, and they have to go chase the draft stock and the whole thing. It's really badass.
They've got 3 center fielders, 3 shortstops. It's elite defense with, prospects up and down the roster and the lineup and hitting wise. And we can't move on without saying this too, Jack. Between you and I, we've seen 6 UCLA games in person at the field, right? We've seen 6 Easton Hawk saves.
Wait, no way.
And he's never done that. He's never done that before.
Not until you saw him against Minnesota, and then he did it when in East.
That is crazy, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's a savage. Like it takes everything, and he can pitch on Fridays anywhere else in the country. He's like, they need me to go get 6 outs, 3 outs, 9 outs. Who gives a damn?
So shout out to Easton Hawk because he was chilling in the dugout. I'm so curious how this works. You're trailing 10-2. I just need to know like the point of view of a closer in that aspect. It's the 7th inning. You're down 10-2. This team mounts they score 6 runs in the 7th. They score 11 in the final 3 innings. Like at what point do you actually, start getting warm, loose, ready to come into this game? And he's like, I was like 5th, 6th inning. I was handing out rally jerky to my buddies, and I was like, we need to get this guy a NIL deal with Jack Links. He was like, peppered or teriyaki is his preferred flavor. So Jack Links, link up with one of the best closers in college baseball. He's going to hawk at UCLA.
They were cute.
Well, cool. Well, Jack, thanks for hopping on. I know you're busy in the hotel room watching Devil Wears Prada. Enjoy your flight back to good old DC from Austin, Texas. And tell Natalie thank you for letting you come on for 15 minutes.
Are you flying from Arlington to Arlington?
No.
Flying from Austin to Dallas, Dallas to DC, 5 a.m. takeoff, 4:30 board, boys. So we're playing the good game, boys. Playing the good game. I love you guys. Devil Wears Prada. I've never seen it. I gotta be honest with you, fellas. It's about as exciting as a rubber match, man. I'm kind of falling in. I hope to not lose our listeners, but it's pretty good. I'm gonna go dial back in, try to earn some brownie points. I love you dearly. Wednesday night. Let's get ready for another fun weekend, fellas. Much love.
Hopefully we'll have the Riz God back.
Sir.
The Rizla.
The Rizla. All right, dude. Thanks for hopping on. Noah.
Yes, sir.
We're an hour and 30 in. Let's do player of the year for ACC, Big 12, Big 10, and SEC. Let's not try to take too much time because remember, there's still 6 games left in conference play for both or all 4 of these leagues. I do want to give a rundown.
So are you looking at conference stats and I'm looking at overall? Is that how we're doing this thing?
Yeah, we can, but like I do want to be like pretty stern with this. Like you go back and look at all of the winners from previous years. Conference player of the year, conference pitcher of the year, conference freshman of the year, those awards 95% of the time they're going to conference statistics only. I know pre-show you and I were talking about that 2024 SEC Player of the Year, where Christian Moore actually won the Triple Crown in the SEC statistically, but Charlie Condon got the nod. He won SEC Player of the Year and he won Golden Spike Award. The numbers were really close though. Like I think Christian Moore hit 426, Charlie Condon hit 419. Charlie Condon hit 19 homers, Christian Moore hit 20. They both had the same amount of RBIs, I think 41 RBIs each. Walks, stolen bases were all pretty similar. So, like, I think really we should focus on conference statistics because every time else, it's like the conference evaluates the player of the year based off of conference statistics only. I think if it is close, they will go to overall statistics as like a tiebreaker in a way. But some of these, like, I did some research pre-show. Right. Some of these like aren't even close for player of the year. For example, ACC, Tage Davis has 16 conference home runs. The next highest is 10. He's leading by OPS by a bajillion. He's leading RBIs by a bajillion in conference. Fun note though, ACC third place. Who has the third most home runs in ACC play this year only?
Third most homers in ACC only.
Second place is Matt Strand from Duke. He has 10. Third place has 9. Who is it?
Is it Curse from Georgia Tech?
No. It is actually Rintaro Sasaki of Stanford.
Oh, there we go. That's our guy.
He's doing way better in conference than out of conference. I just thought that was something to note. But, I mean, it's Tage Davis has locked up the ACC Player of the Year today.
Okay. I would love to look at pitchers too. I don't know if you'd prep.
Well, no, pitchers I did look at. Right now, it looks like it's a 2-man show, and this is strictly just in ACC play between DeCaro and Mendez. Okay. So, like whoever has it's pretty neck and neck, to be honest with like ERA, innings pitched, strikeouts. I think whoever has the better starts these like last 2 starts of the year will probably win the award.
Okay.
Because other than that, like there's a couple relievers that maybe have a shot, like Walker McDuffie from UNC has a decent shot. But
I love that you came this prepped. I love this.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be between DeCaro and Mendez.
Okay.
Wes Mendes has been really good for Florida State this year.
Yeah, and I would love to do because both of those guys are Friday Night Arms head to head. What happened? But they didn't play each other this year.
Yeah, no, I looked at that too. I was like, wonder who won head to head, but they didn't play. Moving to the Big 12, it's a 2-man race. I wanted it to be more. It's a 2-man race between Landon Hairston and Colin Ritchie.
Okay.
Very similar numbers right now, especially in Big 12 play. Hairston does have an edge, but I think Colin Ritchie is still in the middle of his hot streak, and it could continue. Hairston slowed down just a little bit, but yeah, I think it's going to come down to one of those two guys. I would be shocked to see a third guy pop in there. There's a couple dudes there's a dude from Utah, and then Tyson Armstrong from Baylor, who I think they both have 17 extra base hits each. Armstrong.
I still think that Harrison. We were talking about this matchup specifically pre-show. I still think that Hairston's probably got him stiff-armed. You're looking at an OPS that's 125 points higher currently. He's got 2 more bombs, 14 more RBI in conference play, and the strikeout total is far lesser. So I think it's Landon for sure.
No, right now it's for sure Hairston. I was saying I think Colin Ritchie is going to continue this hot streak, and we could look 2 weeks from now and be like, oh shoot, he's hitting better average, more higher OPS, more homers. It really just I think Hairston needs a few more good games in the Big 12, big games from him. And then for Big 12 pitcher of the year, I think it's coming down. West Virginia has a few different guys that are right around the same mark, but I think his name is Max Ewell. Is that his name?
Max Yale.
Yale. Between him and then Carlone from Arizona State, those are the two guys that have put up the best numbers overall in the league in Big 12 play. Carlone has more strikeouts. Ewell has more a lower ERA. I think he might have more wins, more innings pitched. But Carlone has something dude, I want to say he has 72 strikeouts in 37 innings.
Yeah, 75 Ks in 42 frames in Big 12 play.
Yeah.
4.07 ERA there.
The ERA is a little inflated, but you have to remember the Big 12 has some hitter-friendly ballparks.
No doubt. You're right. I do, just as a shout out, and who's to say he's not in this conversation, he's only got 5 starts. I think that's probably his biggest knock is Zach James from TCU.
I saw that.
A guy who's kind of filled into that weekend rotation mid-season, and he's been great. And when you compare him to a Cole Carlone, who's got 42 innings, or a Max Yell, who Yell did miss a start, I think it was 2 weeks ago. So Yell's only got 40.1 innings. Zach James has 38.1. He's right there neck and neck with a lot of the, I would say, SP2s in innings pitched this year. So,
yeah.
But I do think that when you look at strikeout numbers, which I do believe are going to be the loudest stat you can look at in this type of race.
Yeah, that and batting average against are both two stats that I think are heavily looked at from
Carlone.
Yeah, Carlone. It looks like it's his to lose. He looked great again this weekend. So, I think that's the Big 12 race.
I do think that's up for grabs, though. If he has one off start, that ERA may be too north for him to win.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a good point. The Big 10 pitcher of the year race is all but locked up. Mason Edwards.
Oh, yeah. Mason Edwards is a dog, man.
He's a dog now, and especially with Redeman missing some time. But, dude, the Big 10 player of the year is almost impossible to say right now.
It's a gauntlet, or not a gauntlet, but there's so many dudes that have actually put up massive numbers in the Big 10. I was looking at it today.
And it's not names that you're familiar with for the most part. Rock Chalowski, statistically speaking, has no business being in the Big 10 player of the year, even though he's probably going to go 1-1 overall in the draft. The UCLA team, LeVue probably has the best chance, extra base hit wise. OPS and all of that. But there's a guy from Penn State. I think his name is
Michael Anderson.
Michael Anderson. There you go. Where like statistics wise, like he probably has the best stats out of any hitter, and he's in a last place team.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I don't know how the voters are going to vote on this because it's not the traditional, hey, it's a 2-man race. Like right now, I think it's an 8 to 10-man race in the Big Ten.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be very homerish here and stick out my neck for I've talked so lowly about the Michigan offense. I do think that it's the Achilles heel of the team because the pitching staff's so strong. Colby Turner has been making big time noise. He's breaking hit records at Michigan. He's now top 10 career home run statistics now. I mean, he's batting 400 in league. He's OPSing almost 1,200. More walks than strikeouts. He does have a little bit of power, but like the impact that he's made in that lineup, because when you look at all the UCLA studs, I mean, some of the counting stats are inflated because of how successful that offense is. And then you also look at the Oregon pair of Drew Smith and Ryan Cooney. Those guys have been nuts this year too. Colby Turner's the lone wolf in that Michigan lineup that's been so consistent for him this year. And then the other guy from Purdue is Quincy Malbrough. I don't know if they're going to knock him from missing games because he's been really good in league hitting wise this year. He's batting 400.
Is he their first baseman?
No, I don't believe so.
Dude, they have a first baseman that I watched. I've only seen a couple Purdue games this year, and they were all in the that Round Rock Classic. Dude, their first baseman hit a ball that I was like, oh my God, draft him first overall. But I haven't really kept up with Purdue too much.
It was CJ Richmond, which he is a brick shithouse. I mean, he was at Western Michigan 2 years ago and ripping baseballs left and right. I think he was in the Kentucky regional in the NCAA tournament.
That's right. Yeah. Wow, I didn't even put that together, but yeah, no. Who's the guy from USC? I saw USC. I was doing pre-show stuff. I thought I would remember his name, but he's doing really
Augie
well.
Lopez.
Augie Lopez. Yeah, I think he's leading in homers. I think he has 12 homers or something.
13. He must have added one today.
13 homers in conference. So like Augie Lopez is probably the front runner, at least in the voters' eyes. Like they're just gonna look at home runs. Like, oh dang, he hit 13, the most in the league. But we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll see.
SEC Player of the Year. I think.
Yeah, this is the reason why we brought this topic up, like on Friday or whatever, because we were talking about Anthony Pack versus the A&M freshman.
Well, like that's for SEC Freshman of the Year. I do think Anthony Pack, like if he had any more power, like he would be in the consideration for SEC Player of the Year, just based off of like batting average, OP or on base percentage, hits. He's only hit 2 homers in conference, but he's not a home run hitter. I just think it's more impressive that he's sitting in the 3-hole of a top 5 team in the country and performing at the biggest level. Like we're not talking non-conference midweek games that he's exploding. Like he's doing it in conference against best of the best.
I loved Jack's comparison of Chris Rembert at Auburn.
Yeah,
Rembert had a little bit more power as a freshman in the SEC, but they are both making the exact same impact on their teams, no doubt.
I saw a stat where Anthony Pack Jr. is hitting better this year against SEC competition than he did last year as a high school senior. It's like, how do you get that much better, dude? Like, that's incredible.
Way.
Yeah, I think he hit 385 his senior year in high school.
Unreal.
Yeah, it's nuts. But no, for SEC Player of the Year right now, I think if the season ended today, it would be Gavin Grahovic of it's not Daniel Jackson of Georgia, even though you could put value on the position he plays. DJ's a catcher that is valuable in the sense of Player of the Year nomination, but Grahovic has put up the best conference numbers, in my opinion, in the SEC. So that would award him Player of the Year.
Walk me through this a little bit, because I do think that those that are at home that aren't in our group chat that have heard you talking about this for the last 3 weeks about Grahovic, I do think that he has snuck up into this conversation without a doubt.
So
Which is surprising because he had such a loud freshman year.
Right, but okay. So what do you want me to argue here?
Just not argue, just state I mean, some of the numbers compared to like a Daniel Jackson, who a lot of people have kind of pegged for this, or
oh, okay. So you want me to go on a rant? Okay, I was trying to be nice with it. You want me to bring out the group message stuff? So it goes back to what I was saying when we were prefacing this whole Player of the Year stuff. Is like, dude, people are so quick to label like, oh, he's the SEC Player of the Year. He's hit 20 homers. He's going to be a 25-25 member. But in reality, it really comes down to conference statistics only. The SEC doesn't, whenever they're voting on Player of the Year, really don't care about what you did in the non-conference. It's about like, what did you do playing against the teams in our own conference? And if you look at OPS, like Gavin Grahovic, 1229, 1229 OPS in SEC play. He's behind Cade Arambidi from LSU, but Arambidi's played 3 less games and is playing on a much worse team. And it doesn't sniff like Arambidi doesn't have. Grahovic has 12 more RBIs and 19 more total bases than him. So
and
it's
14 more runs scored.
He's just not as
Go
valuable
up and down
as
the board.
Now Aiden Robbins from Texas, he's got a case. He's got 10 homers, 1179 OPS.
I love his game.
So like he's definitely in the conversation. But then when you scroll all the way down for like conference OPS, not all the way down, that's a little mean. But
he's like 12th on the list.
Yeah. So, well, no, like, dude, I'm still scrolling. Did I miss him?
He's 1027 on my screen.
See, I don't have that.
Really?
1020. Oh, okay. No, he's 1041 on my screen. That's weird that we're looking at different OPSs. But anyway, so Daniel Jackson only 7 homers compared to Grahovic's 11. He's got 61 total bases compared to Grahovic's 76. Let me have to scroll back and forth. Both have like similar. Now, Daniel Jackson does have 11 stolen bases versus Grahovic's 5. Like if you want to put weight on stolen bases there, 350 batting average versus 365. Grahovic clears there. I just think that the voter, and I imagine the media members of each team vote. Most of the time, they just get thrown a sheet for conference statistics. Like I voted for the SoCon Players of the Year 2 years ago.
You think it's media members? I thought it was coaches.
Well, I don't know about the SEC, but I know in the SoCon, I got to vote for it as a media member, and it was strictly just a SoCon sheet. It didn't have the season-long. Now, you could go on your own and look up season-long stuff, but it was a PDF that was strictly just SoCon stats, and I had to vote Player of the Year there. So, I just think that
the stat that did it for me, that kind of convinced me, Daniel Jackson in SEC play, hitting 347 with 28 strikeouts, 1 walk. Gavin Grahovic in SEC play hitting 370 with only 17 strikeouts and 14 free passes.
Daniel Jackson has more than 1 walk in conference play. What are you talking about? Oh, shit.
I'm looking at 12 free passes. Sorry. I was looking at hit by pitch. I like to combine the two.
Talking about?
I like to combine the 2 stats. It was the 28 punch outs with the 12 free passes.
Yeah. Now, look, there's still 6 games to be played. Like, there's plenty of guys that could get themselves in this conversation with big weekends. Like we saw, somebody like Tate Davis hit 4 homers this weekend and like really separated himself from the rest. Somebody could go on a 3 or 4 homer, 4 or 5 double weekend, and bump themselves up. But right now, I would say like my top 5 for Player of the Year in the SEC would be Grahovic, Aiden Robbins, Daniel Jackson, maybe a little Tyler Bell action. I think he's played well in conference play from Kentucky, and then Cade Arambidi. Like those 5 feels like dude, Carson Tenney too is another name that, let me look up his conference stats, but he seems like he's always.
In conference, he's in 325, 1103 OPS. He's got 20 free passes, 28 strikeouts, 7 bombs, 19 RBI, and 16 runs scored.
You want to know something hilarious on the SEC website?
What's up?
It says Carson Tenney is 1 of 16 stealing bases. I guess the stat model that they're doing, it only for all catchers, it has their attempts. For example, Bear Harrison, 1 stolen base, but for attempts it has 13. Meaning like those are attempted. That, how do I say this? They're combining defensive stats and offensive stats because for every catcher, Carson Tenney, 1 of 16 stealing bases.
Aaron Beatty, 0 for 9.
Yeah, Daniel Jackson, 11 for 15. Like
Chase Fralick, 0 for 6.
It's just the algorithm's off.
I do like that. That's funny. Omar Cerna, 0 for 15.
Yeah, it's like, no, he's not. I promise you, Omar Cerna is not. He's not going to keep getting the green light if he's 0 for 15.
I was looking at that like with Chase Fralick. I was like, 0 for 6. I mean, yeah. I didn't view him as a base stealer to even attempt it. But who knows? I mean, there's for every Daniel Jackson, there is a what's the freaking animal? He looks like Animal from Sesame Street. Played for Cleveland and then Seattle Mariners, and I think he's with the Diamondbacks now. Naylor,
Naylor,
Josh Naylor. Yeah, like he's a stolen base merchant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Don't judge a book by its cover. He can read a pitcher's timing.
But let's do pitcher of the year for the SEC real quick. I don't want to go over 2 hours on this pod because probably boring people to death. But pitcher of the year in the SEC, my gut tells me Aiden King, who's 5-1 with a 2.37 ERA and has struck out. What are his strikeouts? 59 and 49 and 2/3. But like Dylan Volantis,
I'm all in on the California curveball. Come on, man.
Yeah, like Volantis has just been better. And then, Valencias from Mississippi State is right there as well. So, like, blind resume. 2.11 ERA, 38.3 innings pitched, 63 strikeouts. 2.37 ERA, 49 innings pitched, 54 strikeouts.
The SEC site's drunk. You can't throw 0.4 innings, guys.
That's hilarious. I don't get it. They need to fix their stats. Like people, how are people going to take our sports seriously when the SEC is official stats have like 22.5, 38.4 innings pitched, 27.9.
This is how you know this podcast just doesn't look at box scores or any of this shit when we give our analysis.
Like, this is embarrassing.
Because this is dumb. This is terrible.
This is so bad. And I don't trust any of these stats anymore. I really don't. Wow, this is shame on the SEC for not keeping proper stats. I think a sleeper pick, Hunter Dietz, has been really good for Arkansas this year. 67 strikeouts and 45 innings pitched. His ERA is a little inflated compared to the rest, but he's been money on Fridays for him. It's but like I think it's still Volantis. I think it's his until he missed a start and still has like the third most strikeouts, and he missed a start because of the rain delay at A&M.
A hell of a year for SEC pitchers with the last name starting with V. Yeah. Dylan Volantis, Thomas Valencias, you've got Dylan Vigue, Volchko, yes.
Or Volchko.
Yeah. Just a hell of a year for the V's.
I want to know who's given up the most runs in SEC.
Ben.
Brady.
That's my guy. No.
Nolan Brink?
Yeah, he's from Michigan at Missouri.
Nah.
Yeah,
what's shocking is Shane Steo. He's given up the second most, 35 earned runs. Connor Fennell, 32 earned runs.
I was about to say, did you see the third name there?
Hunter Elliott, like fifth. I didn't realize some of these in-conference stats were that bad. I don't know. Interesting. But yeah, I think it's Volantis is to lose. Like, If he has decent starts his last 2 outings, he's going to win pitcher of the year.
I would agree with you. That's my pick. I do know that there are a lot in the camp of Aiden King, only because I think this is his best argument is Florida has really lacked consistency this year, except for King Bump Day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they ended up choking away his great start on this Friday against Oklahoma.
Florida was such a fun watch this week. Florida at Oklahoma. Florida was one bad inning away from sweeping Oklahoma on the road. But they were also, after giving up the lead Friday night, I was like, oh my God, they're going to get swept. Like, Florida's such a fun team to watch because you just never know.
In the same boat, Auburn was a swing away from sweeping A&M in College Station.
But I kind of look at Florida and Auburn in a similar eye. Like, when I'm watching their games, like anything can happen.
Auburn's flying under the radar, man. I was thinking to myself, like, that was the weekend for me that it kind of clicked. I am very like hands-on guy. For those that don't know, Ben knows, but like I write down all my shit like in notebooks, and I ran out of paper in my last notebook. So there we go. So I had to transfer my portfolio because I hate going through all my apps and everything. Like what position do I have? And I like Auburn's team this year. I drafted them in our Omaha preseason draft. I had them in the 3rd round. Like, I believe in these guys a lot, and I don't have a piece of them to get to Omaha or to win the national championship. And them going on the road, their pitching staff, the best offense they'd faced prior to this weekend bound was Nebraska. So to do that this weekend against A&M, I thought showed and proved a lot. And yeah, I'm gonna end up adding a position on the Tigers this week. So
I love it. Yeah, I remember you came into the season pretty high on them.
Yeah.
And it was really, I think, because of last year how they finished up.
100%.
Yeah, like dude,
I was saying it last year. I was like, they're kind of a year ahead.
Yeah, like, and they also lost to that red hot Coastal team that just won 26 straight games. Dude, you put that Auburn team in Omaha, I think they perform really well.
Yeah. I wrote up them on the Dime Report. And one of the first sentences I wrote was like, last year's team was a year ahead of schedule. Yes, they had the star power with McMurray and Ike Irish, but this year, all those freshmen are sophomores, and as long as they don't slump, like as a collective unit, which I think the only one that's really suffered a sophomore slump is Christian Chatterton. But I mean, that is what happens when you have really good recruiting classes. You see it with UCLA; they're all juniors now. You're seeing with Auburn; they're all sophomores now. Like,
yeah. So are you buying stock in 2027 Auburn already?
Yeah.
All right. I cannot wait to buy stock pennies on the dollar next day.
You know what? I don't know if I can. They lose both Rembert and Freilich to the draft this year, I believe.
Yeah.
So I would have to see the roster.
Cool. All right. Well, great show, Noah. Thanks for
yeah, that was a blast.
This was fun. Was this our first like just you and me podcast? I've done a billion with just me and Dimitri. I've done several with me and Jack. I don't know if you and I have done a 2-man show ever.
I doubt it, but it might be. It might be the first one. But yeah, I would say minus 140 that we've done one previously. Just
now we're putting odds on it. I love it.
But I don't know.
Cool. All right. Well, we appreciate everybody for listening. We'll be back Wednesday night, hopefully with the full.
Wait, officially on the record, can we count this as just a you and I pod? Because Jack did join.
Yeah, Jack was on here for a pinch hit. Like
for pinch hit.
He was in a hotel room and we could listen to the Devil Wears Prada in the background.
And that pinch hit, by the way, can we critique the at bat? Like you and I were facing like mid 90s. We were facing like Logan Rudman on Friday night, and he came in facing like a softball beer league arm, like because he got to talk about Texas and UCLA.
Yeah, easy stuff. But
Jack would be the best softball player, by the way. Really good softball player.
Who is
Jack? He would be a really good softball player. Has to be.
What
6'4", as athletic as hell.
Oh, like for
long and
playing
lanky,
against
like that
women?
swing probably plays so well in adult
Oh, like
softball.
slow pitch softball.
Yeah, has to.
You've never seen Jack hit. I struggled a little bit.
You've never seen Jack
You've
hit,
never.
but it's a different swing. It's like long, lanky, and all you got to do is have a flat swing and then create that backspin in softball, and you're good.
You know what? During Omaha this year, let's put together a little media.
Hey, I want to do a wiffle ball game.
No, let's do slow pitch softball. Wiffle ball, it's not as fun.
You'd be surprised. I have heard of many injury horror stories during adults slow pitch softball. I think wiffle ball is the way to go.
All right, let's go. We do both. How about that?
All right. Yeah, there we go.
Let's do both. But we will be back Wednesday night, hopefully with the full crew. Maybe do a little field of 64 projections again. I don't know. We'll look ahead to the weekend, recap the midweek. We appreciate it.
For those that are going to be in Omaha and like to participate in that media softball or wiffle ball game, DMs are open.
Let's do it. Perfect. All right. Love you guys.